When the sun comes up on America, across open fields, small towns, and city streets, a new day begins. And here, we rise with it. This is where hard work meets headlines, where truth matters, and America wakes up informed.
An interesting week.
They all are.
This is your country. This is your morning. This is Daybreak with Steve and Ivy Gruber. America, let's do it together.
Love you, Ivy.
Love you too.
And it starts right now.
All right, let's roll right into it. Free for All Friday. Free speech, Free for All Friday it is. We'll get to that in a second. Here are three big things you need to know this hour. Number one, would you take a tested and proven vaccine to prevent melanoma? Skin cancer is the leading cause of death for millions around the world, so would you roll up your sleeve for a vaccine for cancer? Number two, the FBI has arrested a woman who had converted to Islam and joined ISIS for plotting to bomb the New York State Capitol and then come back to target President Trump. She'll be in prison for a long time to come. And number three, like I said, it's free speech, Free for All Friday. In honor of the late, great Rush Limbaugh, who opened up the phone lines on Friday, excuse me, I've done it now for 15 years. As long as I get this hair out of my throat. Free speech, Free for All Friday, powered by the Patriot Mobile Common Sense Hotline. 877-310-9966. 877-310-9966. The lines are open. Brock lining them up. Good luck. I hope to talk to you on the phones. All right. But first, here's a Muslim warning for you today. A Muslim warning you. Get rid of your dog or face the wrath. Here it is.
You know that having dogs in your home without any valid reason causes you to lose huge amounts of rewards daily and also keeps angels away from your home? Prophet Muhammad ﷺ warns us about this in an authentic hadith, saying whoever keeps a dog, except for herding, hunting, or farming, will have 2 qirats of good deeds deducted every day. And it is said that a qirat is equivalent to a huge mountain. So if you're losing 2 qirats, that means you're losing 2 mountains daily. And it gets worse. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ also said that no angel will enter a home with a dog inside. Imagine your home where you pray, make dua, and seek blessings. Angels stay away from because of a dog. Islam teaches us to be kind to animals, but also follow guidance. So if you or anybody that you know owns a dog without any valid reason, think twice. Share this so others can learn.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Come get my dog. Come on. Come get my dog. Free speech, Free for All Friday, powered by the Patriot Mobile Common Sense Hotline. 877-310-9966. Brock is doing his level best to sort them all out and get you lined up. Let's start with Patrick in the state of Nevada. Patrick, good morning.
Mr. Steve, the Truth Gruber, bigger than Rush Limbaugh. I'm going to nominate you for the Hall of Fame for broadcasters.
Well, that would be quite an honor, sir. Thank you for that compliment. What's on your mind?
I'd like to know about this, an observation about the pardons, Joe Biden's pardons in Penn. Which came first? 2 years earlier, the United States government brought him up on charges for having confidential paperwork in his garage. And then they declared him not suitable to stand trial. He was incompetent, feeble. So therefore, 2 years later, his judgment on pardons should be incompetent and disqualified.
I don't disagree with you, Patrick, and a lot of people do not. Thank you for a great phone call to start the day. Look, the problem we have is there's no mechanism here to undo a pardon. A pardon is one of the most absolute powers a president has, and apparently even preemptive pardons to people like Hunter Biden and the rest of the Biden family. By the way, it wasn't just Hunter; it was all of them. The whole crime cabal of the Biden family got a pass for crimes they may or may not have committed. Usually, a pardon is issued to somebody who's been convicted of a crime or who has been charged with a crime, not people who have not been charged with anything or face any penalties. Odd thing. And then, of course, the auto pen. We know he didn't sign those things. We know it. He wasn't president. The people around him were president by committee. So that's where we ended up. It's a great call, Patrick. Thank you. Frank, North Carolina, how are you today?
Steve, thanks for taking the call.
Absolutely.
Steve, we both probably agree that taxing the rich people any more than they're already paying is a very bad idea. The part I don't understand is why you want to take money from me. I'm just a middle-class retired person, and that's the part I don't get.
Well, you can't get complete control of the world unless you continue to tax you more. We're $40 trillion in debt as of Wednesday. We'll be $50 trillion in debt come 5 years from now. $50 trillion. Our biggest line item in the budget now is paying interest. Unbelievable. But that's how they control you. It's because they want to force you, Frank, and everybody like you, Frank, onto government health care. And from government health care, it goes to government grocery stores. And from there, it goes to government everything. All monitored, by the way, by flock cameras. Everywhere you go, everything you do, sorted out in the AI data centers. Now, the data centers can have great benefit to us in some ways. And so maybe good cameras. Maybe they'll find illegal aliens on the streets and have them deported. There are benefits to both, but it is a dangerous path to be on, Frank. That's why they want to tax you. They tax you into submission. What else would it be? My thoughts.
Well, it's actually you personally trying to take money from my pocket, not the government.
Me personally, I don't want your money.
It's, with all the deepest respect I have for you, Mr. Gruber, your lack of understanding the finances is astonishing to me.
Oh, really? Do tell. I'm all ears.
I'm a retired bricklayer. I paid myself first for weeks, every week. So when I got to retirement, I have a small nest egg. I'm 68 years old. When you get to that age, we are taught not to invest into risky assets because there's no time to recoup if things go south. So I invest into CDs, Treasury bills, notes, and bonds.
That's what you should do. Those are low-risk investments.
You keep promoting for interest rates to go down, which will take money out of my pocket, which I put right back into the local economy.
Well, so wait a second. So who doesn't have understanding of the economy, me or you? And let me explain. My grandfather was still investing in high-risk investments at the age of 90. 90. He put into things for the highest return when he was 90. You're the one listening to them invest in bonds. So what are you doing? You're investing in the United States, a bankrupt corporation. You're investing in something that's $40 trillion in debt, and I don't understand economics? Oh, I see. You're investing in a bankrupt organization called the United States government because you want guaranteed returns. Why don't you invest in real companies with real profits and real returns and get money back like real people do every day? You're 68, so what? Invest. Build something.
Okay, and when the stock market
I don't understand
crashes out,
economics.
and I
Okay,
use
go
my
on. This is humorous to me. Go on.
Okay, so when the stock market goes south and all my investments turn negative, and now I don't have enough money to supplement my Social Security, who's going to replenish that? I have to have safe bets where I'm not going to lose money. And I take that extra interest income, and I bought a Generac machine. I had my own private well put in.
Sounds like you're doing fine. Not sure what your complaint is, but I understand economics fine, and I will guarantee you when I'm 68, I'm not going to be in bonds. That I can guarantee you. Thanks for the call, Frank. Who doesn't understand economics? Back after this. All right, let's jump right back into it. Chuck is in Texas this morning, the great state of Texas, where the Republicans will hold the Senate seat, but you've got to go vote to make it happen. Chuck, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, Chuck. How are you? What's on your mind?
Okay. Hey, I was born in 74, and during the 80s and Reagan time, I was just a kid. So later on in life, I had to do some research. Reagan was actually Democrat governor of California.
He was not a Democrat governor of California. He was a Republican governor of California. Go on.
No, he was actually a Democrat governor of California.
Sir, he was not a Democrat when he was governor of California.
Okay. Well, anyways, in August of 1981, the Democrat House and the Democrat Senate passed the Economic Recovery and Tax Act of 1981. In that bill, the government gave tax incentives to U.S.-based businesses to move manufacturing out of the United States.
Well, be that as it may, that's not our problem. Our problem was NAFTA. Go on.
Right. NAFTA was also a Reagan theory, but he couldn't get it passed.
NAFTA was not a Reagan theory. Where were you? I'm sorry, what are you reading? Comic books? I don't mean to be rude, but come on. Ronald Reagan left the Democrat Party long before he ran for governor of California. Ronald Reagan did not put forth anything like NAFTA, which destroyed this country's manufacturing base, just like Ross Perot said it would. And we went along like sheep, and we got cheap shirts, and we got cheap shoes, and we got cheap this and that, and we got screwed in the end because we outsourced to Mexico primarily in the first wave. So I'm not sure what you're talking about, but please call back after you do some reading. Thank you for the call. Calvin is in South Carolina today. Calvin, good morning.
Yeah, thank you for taking my call.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, we were talking about government health care. I joined the service in '68. I used the VA as my health care system, and most people don't realize that the VA provides no dental care for their veterans.
I wouldn't have known that. Okay, go on.
Yeah, if you go to the VA hospital, you'll see dental, but the only way they give you dental is if you were in a concentration camp or somewhere where you couldn't get dental care. But if you're 70-some years old and all the fillings fall out, they give you nothing. You have to do that on the outside.
And so you want dental care for veterans?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, that's beyond my. I didn't realize that. I would think that basic dental care might be available to veterans. But let me ask you this. Because every veteran is, let's just be honest, not a hero. Most people that serve in the military served honorably and with good faith and have done great things in this country. And there's some true heroes that serve this country in the military, but all people that serve in the military are not heroes. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Fair enough. So my question would be, if you have a 4-year hitch, do you get dental care? Or does it take an 8-year hitch or a commitment of 10 years? I mean, is there a threshold? Or if you just join the military for any period of time, you get all the full benefits? Shouldn't there be a ramping of what your benefits are depending on how much service you put in? Wouldn't that make sense?
It would if that was indicated upon joining.
All right.
I mean, if you knew that upon joining.
That's fair. Calvin, it's a reasonable question and a reasonable conversation, and I appreciate your call. By the way, folks, I got some people in the chat. Steve's grumpy this morning. No, I'm just irritated by stupidity and by people that don't know what they're talking about. So please, and I'm going to push back. I don't just sit here. I'm not just some lump of clay that's going to allow you to say, spew nonsense and get away with it. So that's all. I'm not grumpy. It's Friday. I feel pretty good about it. I've got some pretty good plans for the weekend. So relax. I'm not grumpy, but I am driven by facts, supported by evidence, right? That's how we operate here. Let's go to Kevin in Arkansas. Kevin, good morning.
Steve, good morning, brother. I just want to say I'm going to start calling you Butter. You're on a roll. You knocked it out of the park with that 250 song, One Nation.
Thank you.
And then icing on the cake with the interview with the president, sir. You did job well done.
Thank you. It wasn't really an interview. When the president and I talk, I think it's more of a conversation. We know each other well enough that we can talk about just about anything, Kevin. I appreciate that. What's on your mind today?
Well, we got flock cameras, we got geofencing. I just kind of curious as to have you heard anything about the leakers, from the Supreme Court leaker to the president's plane leaker? Is anybody being held to account?
No. The Supreme Court leaker they claim they cannot figure out. I don't believe that. I don't believe they can't figure out how they moved the president. What's really striking about that, though, with the president, to show the recklessness of the media. If you'd gone back to, say, Kennedy, Eisenhower, heck, even Bill Clinton or whomever, if you shipped a president off a plane because you felt there was a legitimate, credible threat, you don't go out there and broadcast it and say, oh, he didn't tell us. No, he didn't tell you, genius. They're trying to avoid what they consider to be a credible threat. It's the Secret Service's job. But in years past, can you imagine them talking about the whereabouts of FDR, a guy who the press was told to never show in a wheelchair, which they didn't, so they could protect the image of the presidency or that particular president? We've gone a long way and maybe not in the right direction. When they move Donald Trump or whoever comes after President Trump, and they move them for a reason, it shouldn't be front page news. It certainly shouldn't be controversial. Oh, look, he snuck out of the plane. Yeah, why do you think that is? Well, he flew on another plane. He didn't tell us. What did you want? A text message? A social media post? Come on. Anyhow, good call, Kevin. Nice talking to you. We've got Bill, Eileen, Mark, whole lot more lined up. Brock taking your phone calls at 877-310-9966. Back after this. All right, this part of the program brought to you by the Wellness Company. Everyone knows the next medical crisis just around the corner, whether it comes in the form of a crippling storm or something more mundane like a bug bite. The Wellness Company is there to help you. Great doctors like Peter McCullough. The Wellness Company, its doctors are medical professionals you can trust. They put together a prescription of medical kits that are the gold standard when it comes to keeping you safe and healthy. Whether it's the medical kit, the contagion kit, the first aid kit, all of these kits have guidebooks and medications you can use if you're cut off from the pharmacy, you have an emergency at home. Their first aid kit's the best there is, trust me. Gravity always wins and I always lose. Go find the best kits available. They have antibiotics, antivirals, antiparasitics, right down to Band-Aids and the things you need. TWC.health/Gruber. Go there today and order. TWC.health/Gruber. Use the promo code Gruber. You're going to save 10%. Bill is in West Virginia this morning. Bill, good morning.
Hello, Steve.
Yes, sir. How are you, Bill?
Good. I want to right off the bat, I want to tell you I appreciate your common sense when you're dealing with some of these morons are called. I know you're not getting mad, but you try to reason with people and put them in the right direction, and that's a good thing. That's why I watch you and Steve Bannon every day.
Greatly appreciate it. Go ahead.
Okay, and what concerns me, this is the first time I ever, felt I had an issue that I better let you know about, if you're not already aware of. But these Islams all coming into our country, they have something in their culture that nobody's bringing up. Everybody's complaining about the foot baths and washing their feet in public and all that.
Okay.
But that thing goes a lot deeper. Years ago, I used to work. I did handyman work most of my life, and I did work in a lot of
That's fine.
Palestinian
Got to
homes.
get to it. Got to get to it, Bill. What do they do?
Okay. They all have bidets in their bathrooms, and we all know what a bidet is for.
Of course.
When they're on the road, they're using our sinks and wash basins as a bidet.
Come on.
So I want you to let your people know that when they walk in these bathrooms, when they're near these inner cities and these Muslim areas, and there's water all over the floor.
Really?
It's their culture. If you check it out, or have Ivy look it up, but it's in their culture. It's a part of cleansing. And every time they defecate, they have to.
No, I'm upset.
It's gross and it's nasty, but it's a fact.
Bill, thank you for the phone call. I'll need an air sickness bag, aisle 3, please. Good grief. Free Speech, Free for All Friday will return maybe after this. All right, so I've got bad news. I've got bad news to share with you here this morning, and that is that Bill was right. Didn't take me very long to find it. Like, no time at all. Yeah. Documented cases, public facilities encountering sanitation or plumbing issues when users accustomed to water-based cleansing don't have the appropriate fixture available, so they just put their backside in the sink. I'll tell you, if I see that, there's going to be a problem. I see some dude sitting in the sink, there's going to be a problem with me and him right there, right then. All right? I'm not looking the other way, and neither should you. That's going to be an issue. Oh, geez, oh, Pete's. Bill, you've upset the apple cart in my mind. I don't even know if I can function after this. Eileen is in Pennsylvania today. Eileen, how are you?
Yes, good morning. Thank you for taking my call, Steve.
Yes, ma'am. What's up?
I would like to speak to you about illegal immigration in the city of New York and what's really going on. My daughter has been attacked twice by the same illegal immigrant, Edward Johnson. He has attacked 7 women over the last few years. And the lengths that the Bronx district attorney and the corrupt judges have gone to protect him is beyond disturbing. They fund the chaos.
But why do they do that?
My daughter was first attacked.
I mean, they have to live in the same... I've never understood this. That's the reason I ask you this, Eileen. They have to live in the same city. Their wives and children and husbands and fathers and friends all have to live in the same city. Why do they allow for the chaos, the filth, the crime, it's just ridiculous, isn't it?
It keeps them in business, Steve. That's the only thing I can figure. When my daughter was first attacked in July of 22, he came in as a John Doe when he attacked her, and they were adamant that she prosecute him to the full extent of the law. Testified in front of the Bronx grand jury. He was indicted. As soon as they found out who he was, illegal immigrant Edward Johnson, who was born September 5th, 1966, they bent over backwards to protect him. They notified my daughter in April of 23 that the Bronx district attorney would not be prosecuting Mr. Johnson because it would jeopardize his immigration
I can't dig
status.
into a particular case, and I'm sorry you have to go through that. But it seems pretty obvious.
I got some facts for you, though.
Go ahead.
The Bronx Defenders is a legal aid society who represents these illegal immigrants. The New York City Council are the ones who fund them. In 2024, the New York City Council gave the Bronx Defenders $6 million to defend illegal immigrants from deportation. Keep in mind, they're one little legal aid
so hold on. So let me ask you this. This is a legal aid deal, but how many people in New York that are born here that did something wrong don't have any legal defense at all? I got to leave it there, Eileen. It's a terrible thing. And people have to push back. The problem is too many people in New York are like, oh, that's good. They're taking care of poor fella. He came here, doesn't have a... Stop it. Clean up your act. Do what's right. And don't sit in the sink. Mark is in Ohio. Oh, my Lord. Mark is in Ohio today. I hope they're not sitting in the sinks there. Mark, how are you?
Good morning, Steve.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
Steve, I was wondering. I've been around since Kennedy was president, and I can remember the congressional House member. They would stand and applaud Nixon. They would stand and applaud Reagan, Bush 1, Bush 2. What has happened to the congressional Democrats this day? What is wrong with them?
They've been hijacked. It's pretty obvious. They've been hijacked by communists. You know, McCarthyism 3.0. All right, so here's the question. Was McCarthy wrong?
McCarthy, I can remember my parents just throwing a fit about McCarthy.
Yeah, well, here's the question decades later. Was he wrong? Were we being infiltrated by communists? Have we been infiltrated by communists? Was he wrong? I think that's a fair question to ask at this point in the conversation. Look around.
Communism's never worked.
Well, I get that, but we need a better message for the voters in November. Saying socialists are bad is true. Saying the DSA is a bunch of radicals is true. The Republicans better damn well get on their horse and ride a different message into the midterms, or those same communists that they're telling us are bad will be in elected office in a lot more places. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark.
We've also got a global cancer called Islam that is strategically placing themselves.
Well, they're playing ball. You got those two on the same team.
Yes.
You get those two on the same team playing together, and that's what's so strange. Anyhow, Mark, great call. Really appreciate it. Let's go to Mary in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., before we get too far down the line. Mary, good morning.
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. I hear you're running for mayor.
Yes, sir. I'm Republican since I was 18 years old. I'm a pro-life activist, and I'm really upset about this August 5th MAID bill that the mayor signed that allows medical assistance for death.
So you have MAID laws in D.C.
for depression or suicide.
Hold on, Mary. You have MAID laws, medical assistance, and dying laws are now the law of the land in Washington, D.C.? I didn't know that.
Yes, sir, and we've got to fight back. I want everybody listening to call the mayor's office, email, go to their website, and make a statement for life. Deuteronomy 30:19 says, I've set life in prosperity and death and destruction before the nation, therefore choose life.
Mary, good call. Greatly appreciated. I didn't know that, and I will just give you some quick stats. In Canada, more than 100,000 people have been out euthanized. Nice term, nice clean term. Euthanized. 97% of them, ironically, are white, but it was supposed to be rare and all that stuff. They always say, rare and da-da-da. But the fact of the matter is 100,000 Canadians now put to death under the MAID laws, 25,000 a year, and it's growing. The number's growing because you can go in for, I don't feel well, I'm stressed out, it doesn't matter. It used to be terminal illnesses and that. As soon as they open that door gets blown off its hinges and away they go, putting needles in people's arms. Sad but true. Let's go to Kenny in California. Kenny, good morning. Well, thank you for being up early.
Hey, Steve, how you doing this morning?
Good. What's on your mind?
Thank you for everything you do. And I'm calling. Well, there's been a couple terms thrown around today. Hijack is one of them. This Democrat Party, hijacking the country. And what I don't understand is it goes back to President number 44. But what I don't understand is why we're not looking harder into just getting everybody in that Biden administration since it was got auto pen signing everything.
Again, there's no. Here's the problem, and I'm going to go over this again, Kenny. Here it is. It's the United States Constitution, well worn, sits on my desk. There's no remedy. There's no remedy for the auto pen. There's no remedy. Let me back it up even further. If the 2020 election were rigged, stolen, if you will, there's no remedy for that either. Even the Founding Fathers did not foresee a time when a presidential election would be taken by somebody stuffing the ballot box. You have no constitutional remedy. That's the jam, Kenny. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's where we are. Good call. Greatly appreciate it. It's Free Speech, Free for All Friday here on Daybreak. Nice to see you today. Glad to see you on a Friday. Hope you have a great weekend planned. I'll be back after this. I'll jump back on the phone calls here in just a moment. But first, I mentioned this off the top, and I want to share with you again. 0 for 54. That's the latest on climate predictions that have just not come true. And let me just give you some of the things on the list here because it's pretty remarkable. Famine will be here by 1975. That prediction came in 1967. A new ice age by the year 2000. That was 1970. We'll be rationing water in America by 1974. Food rationing by 1980. The ozone depletion is coming. The planet is cooling. The ice age is coming. Acid rain. Britain will be Siberia. Oh, and I love this term, peak oil. Peak oil. 1977, the Department of Energy, the United States Department of Energy, said we'd reach peak oil in the 1990s. We find more oil every day now than ever. And then peak oil in 2000, peak oil in 2020, peak oil in 2030. Super hurricanes. Manhattan underwater by 2015, and the list is just whatever. Craig Rucker is the co-founder, executive director of the Committee for a Constructive Tomorrow, CFACT. And Craig, you've been around long enough to see all these hoaxes. Thank you for being here. 0 for 54. You know, Barack Obama said the sea levels are rising and then bought a $15 million place on Martha's Vineyard and a coastal place on the beach in Hawaii. He's not too worried about it now, is he?
No. As a matter of fact, for those of us who've been in this, and the CFAC's been around since 1985, and that's when I kind of started along with another gentleman named David Rothbard. We've been chronicling these for decade upon decade. Of course, the big one back in the 60s and 70s was Paul Ehrlich. This was a guy who, like you mentioned, said that 65 million Americans would die of starvation by the mid-70s to 80s. We had, of course, Look magazine. This goes back to like 1970 during the first Earth Day, saying that Americans will have to wear gas masks to survive air pollution, and that the pollution would be so bad that the sun would be blocked out at night by the end of the 1970s. None of this, of course, came true. They just moved the dates, and it goes time and time again. Little wonder, I think, and the good news in all this is that the environment continues to decline as a major issue in people's minds.
In fact, I think it's fair to say, Craig, nobody cares. I don't know where I saw it, when you looked at the top issues facing voters, it doesn't even make the top 10. In some lists, it doesn't make the top 15. It's down at like 3% of people that actually pay attention to this nonsense anymore, right? More severe storms. As I told you before you came on, the last F5 tornado in Michigan was 1956. The last F4 tornado in Michigan was 1976. It's been 50 years since we had an F4 or F5 in Michigan. I mean, storms aren't getting worse. It's nonsense.
It is, and as you mentioned, I think that people continue to rank it very low. The last I saw was like number 19, I think, which is just ridiculously low. There is one state, however, that is actually taking this very seriously. That's California, and in their governor's race, according to some polls, and I don't know how much I can believe, they said 85% of Californians actually take the environmental issues as a high priority in their voting.
We prefer to call that we prefer to call that the state of confusion. The state of confusion is what that is. Because look, California has some of the best weather on the planet, some of the worst politics, but some of the best weather. People stay there because they just grin and bear it, even though the politics are terrible, because the weather's so good. And yeah, you had some wildfires that got out of control because you didn't do any forest management. Let's be honest about it. And why didn't you do forest management? Because of the tree huggers, right?
Well, you hit the nail on the head. What's missing in this poll is why the environment's such a high end. It might be things like the Palisades fire, or it might be the fact that the state's going bankrupt. It could be any number of issues that make the environment. It's not necessarily just that they're embracing the green agenda. We certainly see a drop in that when it comes to climate change, and this is a good thing, in my opinion. We are kind of leading the way. I think it starts at the top. We have a president that's finally been able to say the emperor has no clothes, and I think it just took that sort of leadership. And people say, and I'm hearing it all the time, that when we mention, for example, AOC makes a comment that the end of life for humankind will be by 2030, and we're at what, 2026, 2027?
They're going to start dying like flies. They're going to stop dropping like flies, Craig, any second now. Anyhow, look, all the pandemonium, all the doomsday predictions fail. That's a fact. It's not going to change. And I think by next season, the preseason top 25, climate change might not even make the top 25. Last word to you.
Yeah, as I said, I think this is all good news. I think, as I mentioned before, I think with the leadership we have in Washington now and the rollback of the endangerment finding, the rollback of the electric vehicle mandate, Americans, it's almost like when we went through COVID. I think rationality is returning to the debate, where in the midst of it, people just weren't thinking rationally.
That's
so this bodes for good things ahead.
Craig Rucker, always good talking to you, my friend. Don't be such a stranger. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and not panic today. Maybe have a T-bone and a whiskey. Just throwing it out there. All right, let's get another phone call in. Kim in Pennsylvania. Kim, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I think I got the cure for our problem.
All right.
It's as simple as daybreak. Make this joy. We got to start making a joyful noise. They say we don't have no culture. And this is the perfect time of year to show how much culture we got. I mean, I'm saying let's turn up Halloween as high as we can. Let's turn up Thanksgiving. I mean, let's deck them halls. I mean, they don't like our. They say we don't have culture, and the culture that we do have, they don't. They say we do have, they don't like. They don't like the dogs. They don't like nothing. And
We should like.
all down the
I
line.
got it.
And the one thing they hate worse than anything else is a smile on your face.
Joyful noises.
They hate happiness.
We got to be
So I'm
like the.
saying
We got to be like the
starting
Who's.
October 1st, it's the official start of a holiday season.
Well, thank
Let's
you, sir.
start holidaying. I
Thank
mean,
you.
let's just turn it up.
I like it. Let's turn it up. We'll be like the Who's down in Whoville. Whatever it is. I like it. Put a smile on your face and a song in your heart. I'll be right back. All right, let's continue with the phone calls. We got a chance to get a couple more in before we hit the top of the hour. Tom is in New Jersey. Tom, how are you today?
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. What's on your mind?
Yeah, hi. My question is has to do with the Votergate in New Jersey, and was wondering why haven't the 400-plus illegal aliens who broke the law a second time by voting been arrested, and who's responsible for prosecuting them?
People in New Jersey who don't care would be your answer. Look, the president ought to be out there every day saying if you vote illegally, if you're a non-citizen or an illegal alien or for whatever reason do not have the right to vote and you vote, you will be deported immediately. He should say that on Truth Social.
I agree.
He should say that on every time he's at a podium. He should say that when he's holding little press gaggles. He should do that every single time. If you vote illegally, you'll be shown the door and you will not come back. That's what he should do, because that would keep a lot of these illegals
100%.
away from the polls, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve.
Good stuff, Tom. They're not prosecuting because it's New Jersey. Let's go to Mark in Georgia. Mark, good morning.
Hey, Steve, good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. I got a suggestion, please. I watch your show in the mornings a lot, and it's pretty depressing with all the bad news. Is there any way we could come up with a show that, if it's not but 15 minutes, that would tell us when somebody that's breaking these laws and trying to destroy our country gets prosecuted and locked up?
You mean like David Morenz, Fauci's advisor and friend, who just pleaded guilty and is getting 5 years in prison, that sort of thing? I don't disagree.
Yes, sir. Exactly. I heard that. We need a lot more of that, and we need a show that gives us good news when these people that I say are trying to destroy America get behind bars.
I like it. Tell me that you're going to have a Republican win the Senate seat in Georgia. That would be good news. Mark, thank you for the phone call. Greatly appreciated, my friend. We'll continue with your phone calls. In honor of Rush Limbaugh, the great man who broke the ice so we could all sit here and do what we do today and talk to you. It's Daybreak. Glad to have you on board on a Friday. I'll be right back.
America's awake, and we're just getting started. The headlines that matter, the stories they won't tell you, and the voices fighting to be heard. This is your country, your morning, your daybreak with Steve and Ivy Gruber. A new hour starts right now on Real America's Voice.
All right, welcome to it as we continue a free speech, free for all Friday. Glad to have you here. Here are three big things for this hour. Number one, in Michigan and around the country, Jewish voters are dumping the Democrat Party faster than you can imagine. Mike Rogers building an actual bipartisan coalition to win the U.S. Senate seat. Number two, Chuck Schumer and other leading Democrats, meanwhile, have officially surrendered to the radical far-left wing of their party, which isn't even Democrats, but DSA communists. I'll share that in a second. And number three, like I said, free speech, free for all Friday, in the honor of the late, great Rush Limbaugh. Powered by the Patriot Mobile Common Sense Hotline, 877-310-9966. I have a new moderator here, of course, because Ivy is here. Ivy, good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see you. I hear you got something ridiculous you'd like to share.
Well, it's always nice to see you, Steve. Yes, I like to come generally on Fridays with the dumbest thing I've heard all week. So, Anthony, let it rip.
And folks often say, like, oh, are you going to be able to work across the aisle with the Republicans? They are not trying to work across the aisle. They're literally trying to kill us.
Mm-hmm.
And they are doing it on camera and not being held accountable. Like, actually, state-sanctioned violence.
This is far-left Florida Democrat Angie Nixon. And she says, as you heard, walk across the aisle with Republicans. They're not trying to work across the aisle. They're literally trying to kill us. What in the world is she talking about? Here's Byron Donalds, who is a member of Congress, running for governor in the state of Florida, who happens to be black. What is he not, what is he
not black enough
doing this planning? This
Yeah.
is ridiculous. But
Yeah.
anyhow, the dumbest thing I've heard all week, Steve.
And by the way, big upset because she beat Vindman for the nomination to be the U.S. Senate candidate for the Democrats, even though she's not a Democrat in the state of Florida. All right, let's go to you. Phone calls, Ivy?
Let's do it.
All right, Becky, upstate New York, you're next. How are you?
Hi, Steve. Love you and Ivy. I've been to every Trump. I've watched every Trump rally. I've watched every appearance on TV. And, it gets exhausting every time you hear him say, that they let the immigrants out of the insane asylums, the mental institutions. I'm like, come on, use your time more wisely. His best rally was when he had the montage. All the things that the politicians have said that the fake news will not show you. If he could go through a great montage, and let's start with the one where the guy thought the Americans deserved 9/11.
Yeah, Hassan Piker.
And then if people got their cell phones out, tape that montage, upload it to YouTube, and when they get together with their friends and relatives, say, "Hey, you got 15 seconds? Let me show you something."
Yeah, that'd be a good
idea.
idea.
Get that out there. What these people are saying that they're not seeing on TV. We'd have a good shot at the midterms.
Becky, you're not wrong. Great call. The fact of the matter is the Republicans need to hone in on a message that's going to work. And
economy.
The DSA sucks is not enough of a message. It's true, but it's not enough, is it? No, it's not.
No, you got to paint a picture of prosperity in the future.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Vote for us. Here's our plan for a better America. Charlie is in Indianapolis. Love that city. Charlie, how are you? Charlie?
Hello?
You're on.
Yeah. I've got two important questions. Number one, how in the world are we allowing a member of the CCP who is a professional sniper, allowed him to buy a multi-story building 600 feet from the White House? In golf, we would call that a 2-foot gimme. And number two, why is Mike Lee still trying to get 1 million people from India over here for high-tech jobs when we've got American students up to their eyeballs in debt trying to get the same job?
Charlie, that's a fair question and one that I have talked about. Thanks for the call. One of the things I strongly disagree with Donald Trump on is this. 600 to 700,000 Chinese students, not Indian students, but those two, I suppose, coming here to go to our universities where they steal our intellectual property, where they take it back because they're required to take it back to Beijing. Ivy, I don't like it. I don't like all these foreign students. And Donald Trump said, well, these universities will go bankrupt. And so what? If they're here to steal from us, undermine the American dream, undermine our republic.
I don't know how they go bankrupt, what they're charging for tuition.
Well, a lot of them are getting piles of money from China for these students, right? It's out-of-state tuition, international tuition, whatever. But I don't like it. I agree with Charlie. Let's go to Steve in West Virginia. Steve, how are you today?
I'm doing good, Steve. Good morning to you and Ivy. God bless you for what you do. Unfortunately for me, I've kind of had a criminalistic mindset about the auto pen.
All right.
And I thought before I'd done that, maybe it'd be easier if I just changed my name to Dr. Fauci and receive a free pardon. But saying the auto pen, it's open for forgery. I mean, I can right now go online and print out 1,000 of them and start selling them.
Yeah, that's right.
They need to work on this.
But again, you're right, Steve. The auto pen is not a legitimate way to get a pardon. We don't know that Joe Biden was aware of much of anything. That's a fact. He was compromised, and yet there's no mechanism.
And I wish Donald Trump would ask him to please take them back.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, take back
I know.
the pardons.
We're asking a lot when we ask him to think.
Yeah, thanks for the call.
Well, anyway, I hope you guys have a blessed weekend. Have fun fishing. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next big trip is in September. Ivy, people ask us about that, but you did set up a trip for us on the Ausable River, the Blue Ribbon Trout Stream, right here in our home state.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever fished it. I've been trying to think about that. I know you haven't, but I can't. I've been here a long time, and my memory gets a little sketchy when you know. But I don't know. But sometimes you just have to go out and get in touch with nature and forget about the politics, don't you?
Oh, amen to that.
Yeah. All right, we can get one more in here. Michael is in Ivy's former home state, Florida, today. Michael, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I can barely hear you, but I'm questioning why you don't bring up Professor Jonathan Gruber, BHO's healthcare scribe that was yucking it up before all the college audiences and news media about how they depend on the stupidity of the American voter.
That's right.
And whenever he got caught at it, he was apologizing and everything, but he went before 21 different universities and colleges, and YouTube had it on there. Did Zuckerbutt remove him? You need to look him up and show him how happy they were.
Yeah,
they were suckering the American voters.
Michael, thank you for the call. He was the architect of Obamacare.
That's right. Yeah.
And no relation, by the way, just so we're clear on that. Jonathan Gruber, no relation.
And if he was, he might be, disowning him. But no relation.
No.
Yeah, I remember during that whole Obamacare debacle, Nancy Pelosi, we need to pass it so we know what's in it. And then his remarks about how stupid the American people are. But
yeah, how stupid the voters are, no question. Yeah. Ivy, always good to see you. It's better when we can talk more, but hey, lovely to see you. You look wonderful today.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you. Love you. More phone calls to come from all over the country. Florida and Montana up next. Here on Free Speech, Free for All Friday. The Patriot Mobile Common Sense Hotline, 877-310-9966. Back after this. This part of the program brought to you by my friends at Ghost Bed, and they are my friends now because they do such a wonderful job building tremendous mattresses and sleeping systems. Crowned again last night. I'm telling you, it's changed my life 5 months in. It's an American-made sleeping system. It has all sorts of incredible patented ideas. Made in America, better pricing than all the big names, and it's been around for 26 years. Ghost Bed. Go find it. You can try it for 101 days risk-free. If you actually don't like it, I'd be shocked, but if you don't, you can send it back. No risk, no concern. Ghostbed.com/Gruber. Promo code is Gruber. You can save 10% right now over the best Labor Day sale that's already going on. Join me now, Mayra Flores, former Congresswoman from Texas 34 in the House of Representatives, a member of the Republican Party. She was the first female Mexican-born member of the House. Mayra, welcome back to the program.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Always nice to see you. The American Dream PAC, you're out there working every day to fight back. Look, you're not interested in socialism, and neither am I. It's a terrible thing, but it's not enough of a message. The Republicans need a message about how they make the American dream possible, how they can make it better for young people like yourself. What does the message need to be?
Well, I got tired of complaining. Unfortunately, on our side, we do not have anyone fighting back, pushing back the lies and the propaganda on these Spanish networks that is being spread by the Democrat Party. See, the Democrat Party has a spokesperson, bilingual spokesperson, that is speaking in these Spanish networks and spreading a lot of lies and misinformation to the Spanish-speaking community that is going to go out and vote on these midterms. So I couldn't allow them to continue this because it was going to hurt us tremendously. We have a very tight Senate race here in Texas, and that is why I decided to bring the American Dream PAC that is focused on bilingual media. I am on Univision, Telemundo, Spanish radio, you name it, pushing back the lies and the misinformation and educating the Hispanic community on the policies that Paxton stands for and other Republicans in the state of Texas and throughout the country as well, because this media is being seen all over the country.
It is, and it's really important. It is really important that you connect with Spanish voters. Look, Donald Trump got more Hispanic votes in 2024 than any Republican ever, but that vote is not just there without asking for it again and proving that you can do good things for all communities in America, correct?
Because at the end of the day, we're all Americans. It doesn't matter, if you're African American, Hispanic, or white. At the end of the day, we're all Americans, and we all want the best for our country, for our family, for our communities. And that's what my goal is here. Yes, I encourage everyone to learn English, but I want to win in November. And I know that Democrats are taking advantage of the Spanish-speaking community. And I want to make sure that they have all the information, because I know that once they have all the information, they align more with the Republican Party. And President Trump is not at the ballot. Yes, President Trump gained a lot of Hispanic support, but he's not in the ballot this November.
Yeah, absolutely true. So I don't believe that Tellerico is going to win in Texas. They keep showing polling that he's leading, but I think they told us that Beto was leading a couple of years ago. I don't believe it. I believe that Texas will be smart about who they vote for, but it's going to take Hispanic voters. And you're right. The Democrats are a lot smarter about using Spanish broadcast platforms to get their message out, aren't they?
Absolutely. Tellerico is spending millions and millions of dollars in Spanish media. And he is telling the Hispanic community that he is a man of faith. He is a man of family values, that he is a proud American, that he loves this country. He is lying and deceiving the Hispanic community. And that is why I am concerned about the midterms and this Senate race. It's going to be a very close race. So I am taking it very serious. I rather be safe than sorry.
I totally agree. By the way, the American Dream PAC is a 527 federally registered hybrid super PAC. If you share Mayra's vision of winning in the midterms and 2028 and beyond, you should join Mayra. How do they do that?
We're an AmericanDreamPack.org. Donate whatever you can. All the funds are going directly to the Hispanic community in educating them and growing the Republican Party because, Hispanics are now the majority in Texas. And we want to make sure that they vote Republican. We want to make sure that Texas stays strong. And the only way to do it is by getting more Hispanics to vote Republican. And that's my goal.
There you have it, the AmericanDreamPack.org. AmericanDreamPack.org. Join Myra and help win the midterms. Myra, it's always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you. She's out there working hard every day. You should be doing the same. Let's jump back to the phone lines now. Gene is in Florida. Gene, good morning.
Gene's gone. Jeff in Montana.
Well, Jeff in Montana. I'd rather give you more time anyway. Jeff, how are you today?
Yeah, very good, sir. And how about you?
I'm good. Where in Montana?
I'm in Dillon, Montana, southwest Montana.
Yeah, I was just there.
Over by the Big Hole.
Yeah, I fished the Big Hole. I was just there a couple weeks ago. Loved it. By the little smoky, but the fishing was great, and Dillon's a great town. Anyhow, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I got a couple things very quickly. First of all, that feller that called about the dental deal with the VA.
Yep.
I'm a Vietnam veteran, and right now I've been battling to get my teeth done. Second of all, I would love to sit down with you for lunch and talk about the war on the West, water and what they call public lands, which is government land. They want all the cows gone, and
The left
I happen
does.
to know. I happen to know Red Emerson, which is owner of Sierra Pacific, and Ellington Peak, which is the owner of Shasta Livestock, and traded more cattle and brokered more cattle than anybody.
Well, one of the
in
big problems,
US.
Jeff, as you know, the Big Hole, for example, the Big Hole River, beautiful river, much of that water gets diverted to agriculture, and so there are challenges back after this. Damn, home title lock's way too long. This part of the program brought to you by Exodus Strong and the Exodus QE infrared facial mask. Red and infrared light therapy can be used at home for healthier looking skin. It'll boost collagen, soften the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. Instead of expensive spa treatments, you just wear that mask for a few minutes a day. Ivy loves this thing. She loves it. Skip the costly spa visits. Go to ExodusStrong.com. Use the code Gruber. You'll get this mask, which is perfect for Halloween, too, for less than $200. That's right. ExodusStrong.com, promo code Gruber, and you're going to be set up, ready to go. Let's go to Mike in North Carolina. Mike, how are you?
Hello?
Yeah, Mike, you're on. All right. Let's go to Les in Ohio. Les, how are you today?
Les is gone. Go to Leslie in Florida.
Leslie in Florida today. How are you?
Steve, good morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Go ahead.
Tell Ivy I'm sad I missed her, but since you've been all over this flock camera issue, I was just wondering, had you heard that they're really full of copper?
I've heard that. I did the research. There's actually not much for minerals inside these cameras, but And I would never advocate for criminal activity, but I do know they're on hollow poles, and they seem to fall down pretty easily from what I see in videos.
Yeah, we live in Florida, hurricane state. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, okay. Well, thanks for the help. And you guys, as usual, thank you for everything and take good care.
Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. Let's get to Robert in Tennessee. Robert, you got about 45 seconds. What's on your mind?
Okay, I got two things to say real quick. Number one, I heard somebody suggesting that if you want to get Muslims to self-deport, ban halal food in all the government places and also privately ban halal everywhere and watch them all line up to go back. And the other thing was ban the face coverings, and the women will follow their men back because they can't get the halal and they can't wear the coverings. That's number one I wanted to talk to you about. And number two,
well, let me just speak to that. I got time to speak to that, so let me speak to the face coverings. Portugal this week banned all face coverings in public in Portugal. It's the 25th country to do so. Look, if you want flock cameras and surveillance, you can't have people with their faces covered. You got to have it one way or the other, right? Can't have both. Back after this. All right, here we agree on this. Communists, anti-Semites, they're bad. I get it. Nobody supports communists, not ones that have any education at all, including independents, which is why you're seeing this shift in Michigan right now of voters, Democrat voters, lifelong Democrat voters, Jewish voters, shifting dramatically. People who have never voted Republican in their lives are going to vote for Mike Rogers. I think that's good news for people in Michigan and this country. But I think that the Republicans need a better message. I do. I think they need to be talking more about the economy, how they're going to make the American dream possible. They need a message, not just that socialism is bad. Joining me is Congressman Tim Walberg. He serves on the House Energy and Commerce Committee and the House Education and Workforce Committee. Congressman, nice to see you on a Friday.
Good to see you, and I agree with you. The message needs to get out, but that means people like you and other media outlets need to allow us the opportunity to talk about the things that I believe are important and the things I've been talking about, the things that the Speaker of the House, who I joined with for a full day and campaigning for great Republican candidates and incumbents like Tom Barrett and Bill Huizenga and Mike Bouchard Jr., who's running to take the open seat that John James left. We're talking about the things that are working right now, the tax cuts that we put in place through the One Big Beautiful Bill that people are experiencing. And the media won't allow us to talk about that. So we have to buy every bit of information we put out there. So I'm glad I'm on this program and can talk about 70% of the filers receiving tax cuts as a result of what we did are under the $100,000 income level. And that's totally opposite of what El Sayab and his ilk are talking about. And 7.5 million filers have claimed no tax on tips with an average deduction of about $7,000. That's real money. And that came as a result of what Republicans did and the president signed into law over a year ago. And those are the things that make things great. Talking about gas tax increases, it talks that maybe $5 more a month for most individuals. That's less than a pack of cigarettes and a Starbucks coffee to get Iran out of the nuclear arms race. So these are the things that we're talking about, I'm talking about, and thanks for letting me talk a little bit about that this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there needs to be a message. I had a long conversation with the president here just a week or two ago, and I said something to him that he seemed to really like, but he has not repeated it anywhere, because I also think this would be helpful in the midterm elections. Simply say, if you're a non-citizen, if you're here illegally, if you don't have a legal right to vote, but you cast a vote, you will be deported, period. No questions asked. If he said that simple thing on Truth Social or at his event in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina today, or wherever he might be, I think that would really chill those people that think that they might go vote illegally. Just say, if you do that and you're caught, you're out. Don't you think that would help?
Yeah, add that to the message, great. But add that to the message, if you're here illegally, you're going to be deported.
Absolutely. If you vote, you're out. No questions asked. But the Republicans really need to focus on economic issues. And I think you just laid it out quite well. Right. We understand that the DSA is bad, that the Democrat Party is in a war for its own soul, that I think it's losing. But if the Democrat Party loses its soul, it's possible that this continues to spread. Look, these people never go away. They just reconstitute and come back and change their colors a little bit. They're like chameleons. They'll say anything to get power, won't they?
Oh, absolutely. Or they won't say anything if they're afraid of going after these socialists and communists that are out there. I mean, stop and think about the fact that not a single Democrat in Michigan, my own Michigan delegation, Democrats, signed on to that letter of 13 brave Democrats who, after the primary elections in Brooklyn, New York, and in Colorado, where socialists were nominated, they didn't come out with those 13 brave Democrats and say, that's not our party. We're not socialists. We're Democrats. We still believe in America. Our members of this Michigan delegation were unwilling to stand with those 13 brave souls. What does that say? What does that say? And that's where the concern is, because there will be, Steve, at least 14 socialists who will take their hand, maybe the left hand instead of the right hand, and put it up in January of this coming year and become members of Congress.
And that 14 block will be able to stop who I don't think will be the majority leader again because of that, Hakeem Jeffries. But they'll stop the Democrats.
Hold on. Let me ask you about that. You think that if a dozen of these communists, let's just call them for what they are, end up in the House, Hakeem Jeffries doesn't get the gavel if they have the majority? But here's my problem with it. They're not Democrats. They are DSA members. Why would the Democrat get the gavel in the first place if they're DSA members? They're not part of that party. Shouldn't the gavel go to the party that has the majority? And in that case, if you've got 12 or 15 DSA members, and then you've got your Democrats, then you've got a couple libertarians or whatever, and then you've got your Republicans, the Republicans should be the one with the gavel because they have the majority in the House. But it's not how it works.
Well, they should be. Well, the Republicans will have the majority. I believe we are going to have the majority, and so Speaker Johnson will be Speaker. But if that doesn't happen, and that's why I say to my Jewish friends who have voted Democrat, unexplainably so, for years, and others who would vote for the Democrats because they don't like a short-term raise in their gas prices, they will get a socialist, communist party that will be in majority and will control what goes on, because those 14 can stop anything that the majority party, because it will be a very slim majority if that happens, from doing anything unless they acquiesce to what the socialist communists want to do. That's all the marbles, Steve, that's on for this coming election. And I'm just telling my Michigan citizens to wake up. Do you want America or don't you? Do you want freedom or do you want big government socialism? And that's what these college kids don't understand, because they have been indoctrinated, lied to, and not told about what communism, Marxism is all about. So they think socialism, that sounds wonderful. It's social. And it's not.
They don't understand it. You're right. It's social. Everybody gets together. We solve problems. That's not how it works.
Yeah. Love everybody. Everybody gets everything free. Well, how does that free stuff come from your freedom?
It brings me back to the failures of the educational system in this country. When I was in school, they taught us about communist China. You know, we stopped calling it communist China at some point. I think we need to return and use words that matter. Last word to you.
Well, I call it communist China, CCP. That's what it is. But frankly, America needs to wake up. Bottom line, the economy is strong. The tax cuts have been there. Every single Democrat in Michigan voted against the tax cuts that we put in place. Every single one.
Yeah, that's right.
People wake up, save America. This is our opportunity.
Congressman, always good to talk to you. I hope you have a good time out there talking to the voters this weekend, sir. Thank you.
We will be. You too.
Thank you very much. Congressman Tim Walberg, we return to your phone calls, opening all the lines, 877-310-9966, right after this on Daybreak. All right, back to it now. Ivy, so jacked up on coffee, she's back in the hot seat. Ivy, good morning.
Good morning.
You took your glasses off.
I don't think I had them on this morning.
I don't remember. Anyhow, it's 1775coffee.com, by the way. Promo code
Great
Gruber.
coffee.
It is great. We're kind of coffee snobs, aren't we?
We are now.
Yeah, we are. And 1775coffee.com. Use the promo code Gruber. You're going to save some money and be just as happy as we are in the mornings. 1775coffee.com. There you have it. You want to go back to the phone lines, Ivy?
Yeah, let's do it.
Great idea. Let's go to Mike in New York. Mike, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Steve.
Good morning. What's on your mind?
From upstate New York.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we seem to have this really science, Islam, and Marxism. Historically in the past, when you see something like this, they usually turn on each other after they win. And how do we provoke them into turning on each other before they destroy us?
Well, you're already seeing that in the Democrat Party. The Democrats are turning on themselves over this question because these people, you look at Fetterman, he said it. The guy that got the nomination to run for governor as the Democrat in Florida said, I am not a socialist. I am a capitalist. So you're already seeing bits and pieces of that, Mike. We need more of it, don't we? All right, Mike, thank you very much. I appreciate the call. Let's go to Susan in North Carolina. Susan, how are you?
Fine.
What's
I
up?
just want to, in Florida, they have new laws that you cannot sue assisted living or the hospitals. And they let people get out of the hospital too early, even if you don't want them to, because my son had 2 brain bleeds and they put him in a assisted living and he sat there. We told him that he had another stroke, aneurysm, and he sat there 2.5 days and before they put him in the hospital, and they knew I was coming down right before they said he was barely breathing.
Why did they put this law in
I think they
place?
should check into the hospitals. They're big business going wild.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you, Susan. Too many big hospital systems are worried about the bottom line and not patient care. That's too obvious too often.
Yeah.
And you're right. We've seen it, Ivy.
Yeah, I actually dealt with this with my grandmother, who was in the hospital for about 2 weeks.
In Florida.
In Florida with a traumatic brain injury, and it just always felt like they were trying to push her out before it was time. I just don't know why this is happening, but I have experienced it for myself.
I think she said why. Big hospital systems, that's why.
Yeah.
Let's go to Liz in Texas. Liz, how are you?
Steve and Ivy, it's a pleasure. It only took me 145 tries to get to you this morning.
So glad you got in.
It's making my day better. I am a Latina Republican that has done my best to talk to my friends and push them to the Republican side.
Is it working?
It is, Steve. But let me tell you, we Hispanics want mass deportations.
Yeah.
So is it going to get there? Are you going to keep a Republican in the U.S. Senate seat? Are you going to keep Republicans in those congressional seats? Is it going to work, Liz?
I'm praying every day, Steve, and I am doing my very best to get it done.
Well, Liz, we appreciate your efforts. That's what it takes. Like Myra Flores in Texas. You're in
right.
Texas.
Keep up the good fight, Liz.
Hispanic women, we're counting on you. Well, we are, in large part. Thank you, Liz. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for the 145 tries. We appreciate it. Let's go to Susan in Nevada. Susan, how are you?
Hello?
Hello, Susan. How are you?
Okay. Good morning. I just wanted to ask you a question. I'm a senior, and months ago, President Trump. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Are you there?
All right, let's put her on hold there, Brock. She's having some difficulties. Let's go to Jack in Toledo. Jack, good morning. You got about a minute today is all.
Good morning, Steve and Ivy. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
I'm excellent.
Hey, let's talk inflation. Let's talk about a basic definition of too much money chasing too few goods. Let's talk about health insurance, because that's been on the topic of a lot of people here. The Affordable Care Act was supposed to reduce costs. It has not done that. It has increased costs every year, both for deductibles and for the premiums.
Double
whether
digits.
it's a single payer or a family. Yeah, it's crazy. Inflation, according to the CPI, only factors in medical costs for insurance at 1% of the basket of goods. So they're saying, in theory, we only take 1% of our pay and pay for health insurance. I'd love to pay 1% for health insurance.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's like a car payment for people most of these days.
It is.
Now, the other thing is, we were supposed to be able to keep our doctor and keep our health
That
plan.
didn't happen.
What a joke that
But
was.
what has happened is we've lost the traditional health care programs, and they've gone to these high deductible, high premium programs or catastrophic care premiums.
Sure have.
So you get the choice. Do you want to pay a higher premium and have less out of pocket in case something pops up? Or do you want to have a lower premium but have to pay through the nose if something happens, like when I broke my ankle back in 1999?
Right.
That
No, I
cost
get
me
it.
$5,000. Now, who other than Jonathan Gruber was involved with promoting the ACA?
A whole host of
There's
folks.
this
Jack, I got to
guy-
leave it there.
The
We're gonna
smartest people.
We're going to hit the wall here, Jack.
According
I
to
got to leave
them.
it there. Great questions. Jack is always deep in the facts and in the weeds. Ivy, we got 30 seconds here, but I was told you had something important to say.
Oh, yes. For all of you listening and watching, please remember we have a podcast, Forgotten America. There are many episodes there that you can go back and watch. A lot of great information, including one about insurance. And we're going to be starting our second season here in a few weeks. So tune in.
There you go. 24 episodes of pure pleasure. Ivy and myself, great conversations, fascinating. People like Dr. Robert Redfield saying he got it all wrong on COVID, every bit of it.
That's right.
It's good stuff, isn't it, Ivy?
It is. And I highly recommend you go watch it.
All right, back after this.
Real America's Music, Faith, Family, Freedom by High Res and Jordan Meyer. This isn't just another song. It's a reminder of where we've been, what we believe, and what we're fighting to preserve for the next generation. Whether you're on the open road, at a backyard barbecue, or simply proud to call America home, this is the soundtrack for those who still believe our best days are ahead. Scan the QR code on your screen to download the song today.
God first, that's the motto, that's the fire in my chest. I was carrying that pressure, now I put it down to rest. When the world feel like it's falling, he be put into the test. But he turning all my valleys to a mountaintop of blessed. I could feel his presence when I look up to the skies. No more believing the devil's lies. I got faith.
Great song from Real America's Music, the same place that promoted One Nation by Steve Gruber and the Freedom Project. But you can still find that on all the streaming platforms, by the way. And we appreciate the support. Let's get to Mike in North Carolina now. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Steve. How are you today?
Lovely. What is on your mind?
Well, I wanted to give you a hand, if you don't mind, about the veterans that are calling in about getting their teeth fixed at the VA.
Yes, sir.
They should have been told, and apparently they haven't. The dental clinic is so swamped with veterans with bad teeth, because a lot of guys didn't brush their teeth in the field. You have to be 100% disabled to qualify. Until you hit that, you cannot be seen in the dental clinic.
Wow. Do you think that should be changed?
Well, no, unless they can hire more dentists.
Well, that's what I mean.
My dentist just had to quit because she was so swamped she had no time for her own husband and kids.
Right.
So they're having to outsource to dentists outside the VA system, but they still pay for it. At 100%, I don't have to pay for any treatment, but I may not get seen at the VA hospital.
Greatly appreciate the update. Thank you, sir. Still coming at the top of the hour, more calls. Janice, Russ, Gene, Dwayne, Dan, all lined up to go here on Daybreak, so we'll take more calls after this.
America's awake, and we're just getting started. The headlines that matter, the stories they won't tell you, and the voices fighting to be heard. This is your country, your morning, your daybreak with Steve and Ivy Gruber. A new hour starts right now.
All right. Good to have you on board for another hour of the program. Daybreak. Three big things this hour. Number one, Morgan Stanley pulling out of New York City, headed for Texas, Dallas to be specific. No surprise there as people continue to flee. Number two, the proof of citizenship ballot proposal in Michigan. They collected 750,000 signatures, about 300,000 more than they needed, and we're told they didn't have enough valid signatures. It's going to be a big fight at the Board of Canvassers. They say they're 17 signatures short. We'll see how that plays out. And number three, it is free speech, Free for All Friday. Glad you are here. The hotline, Patriot Mobile Common Sense Hotline, 877-310-9966, 877-310-9966. Janice is in Michigan to start this hour. Janice, welcome to it. What's on your mind?
Thank you, Steve. I'm involved with a group that has created a letter template to send to the Secretary of State, to send to our own Michigan State House representative, and to send to our County Elections Division clerk, indicating that El Said has a open disdain for the Republican form of government guaranteed to each state under Article 4, Section 4 of the U.S. Constitution. He is advocating Sharia law. There's articles in this letter that lead to all the source material for everything that is listed, such as his belief that he will die with an obligation to Sharia law. Sharia law is in direct conflict of our U.S. Constitution. He is advocating to defund the police, giving driver's license to illegal aliens. And for all these reasons, he is ineligible to be on any ballot in any state running for any office in the U.S. government.
Well, we'll see if you can make that work. I applaud the effort. I do, Janice. I don't think he wins an election either way. But I don't if you're right about the law, I applaud you for pursuing the legal challenges that are appropriate. Thank you for the phone call. It's the right thing. I think Mike Rogers wins no matter what happens. And look, I think that if you could make that stick, it'd be a huge deal. But we'll see. Let's go to Russ in New York. Russ, how are you today?
Hi, Steve. My wife and I love Ivy's peace symbol hoop earrings. We really love them. But I have a foreign policy question for you and a domestic policy question for Ivy. In Portugal, I wonder if those face coverings apply to Fauci masks. I hope so. But the foreign policy question I want to ask you, I have heard that Israel bombed a Turkish airbase in Syria, and will we have to defend Turkey in any kind of conflict over there?
Yes.
And one thing, Steve, the CCP is a Maoist party, but the government of the People's Republic of China is state capitalism. They lifted 800 million people out of poverty in 60 years. That's what a planned economy can do. I didn't finish college.
No. Hold on. What are you, a planned economy?
Can I just finish one thing for Ivy?
You're totally off base.
Okay,
You're
the
totally
question
off
about
base.
Ivy is if the electorate chooses to try a more social approach and cut military spending and reduce the debt service on $40 trillion, isn't it the consent of the government to determine that free child care encourages family formation and will lead to fewer abortions? That's just what I want to ask Ivy.
That's
if
all
she
garbage.
thinks that's a
She's
better
not
thing.
here at the
Thanks.
moment. I'm going to answer the questions, Russ. Thanks for the phone call. We had family formations long before there was free child care, where you were demanding you pay for your neighbor's child care. Somehow we made families for 250 years without that. This idea that state-directed government is working for China because it's capitalism. No, capitalism works in China because they let the markets work. They imported factories from the United States. They destroyed industries globally by undermining prices. For example, antibiotics. They went out and bought up antibiotic plants around the world, then dumped the price and bankrupted all their competitors. Don't sit here and tell me how great China is. China realizes that they only lifted people out of poverty. What about the Great Leap Forward, Russ? That helped people leap right into a grave. That was Mao Zedong. He was the formation Foundation of China. What a ridiculous call. Dan in Tennessee, how are you today?
We just lost him. Go to Vivian.
All right, Vivian is in the great state of Michigan. Vivian, how are you today?
Hello?
Yes, Vivian, you're on the air. How are you?
Hello, I'm a longtime fan. Love you guys.
Thank you.
First off, I want to be part of that. If they're under 17, then I want to be put on that list to help them get them over and above that number. And then second off, do you guys remember that George Santos or Soros bought them radio stations?
George
That's
Soros,
why
yeah.
Democrat run?
He knocked me off 3 stations. I remember it well. I'm pretty clear on that one. What's your point?
I was just wondering if everybody remembered that he
it just
bought
happened.
all
He's
them
still doing
stations.
it. He bought out Odyssey,
Oh, my
235 radio stations he bought. And then the stations that I'm dealing with, he came in and did licensing agreements, which means he didn't buy the station, but he took them over by renting them, basically. Knocked me off 3 stations December of 2025. So, yes, it's still
That's
happening,
horrible.
Vivian. In here, in all 3 of those stations
That's
in
horrible.
Michigan. Anyhow, thank you for the call.
That's horrible.
It is terrible. Thank you.
And I just want to make sure everybody gets out to vote, and when we win, get more hand-up programs instead of handout programs.
Vivian,
like
I agree.
The aid cap
Thank
program.
you. Greatly appreciate the call. Thank you very much. Let's go to Dwayne in Florida. Dwayne, how are you today?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. What's on your mind?
Man, can you hear me pretty clear?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Man, Mr. Steve, I enjoy your show a lot. I appreciate everything you do. There's so much evil in the world. I don't want to start on all the flat earth stuff and all because I'll be here forever. I just want to ask a simple question.
All right.
If you can download a free app called Flight Radar 24 and immediately aim it up at the sky. It's a free app. It works great. It's worldwide. They have tech support if you need it, but it is a free app. You can aim it at an aircraft dumping a heavy chemtrail. You can see the origin. A lot of them start in Jacksonville, Florida, and they're going to Houston, Texas. You can see the ID numbers on the side of the plane. Its altitude, its
Yeah.
speed,
What is this app called?
It's Flight Radar 24.
Flight Radar. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for that.
I-
Got to run.
I
Greatly
think-
appreciate it. Got to run. Sorry, we're up against it and we're running out of time. Hey, by the way, make sure you use longevity every day if you want to feel healthy and strong. Longevity. 90% of Americans don't get enough essential vitamins and minerals in food alone. Some research suggests natural vitamins are far better than synthetic ones. Longevity has 20 natural vitamins coming from the garden, not the laboratory. Trust me, we use it every day here. The kid that's playing football, Ivy loves it. I like it. Anthony is on the longevity train. Longevity Wellness, great tasting shakes, nutritional shakes, strawberry, vanilla, chocolate. LongevityWellness.co. Use the promo code Gruber at checkout for a special discount. You're going to be glad you did this. Send me emails when you do to tell me how great it is. LongevityWellness.co. Back after this. All right, time to bring in the most accomplished, best-looking, most entertaining attorney of all time, Steve Doolin. Everybody, Doolin's here. Doolin, how are you?
Great, Gruber. Yeah, no pressure with that intro.
Well, no. I mean, big star like you, professor of stage and screen, attorney, just an overall good guy. Anyhow, let's see here. The headline is, the gun law is in limbo as the Justice Department holds off an appeal. Yet to a key firearms ruling handed down, leaving gun control groups worried and Second Amendment advocates hoping it means the Department of Justice is standing down. It all goes back to the 1934 National Firearms Act. Please, Doolin, get me through the weeds here and explain.
Okay, so there's a case in Texas challenging the registration part of the National Firearms Act of 1934. They successfully argue that since the tax was reduced to zero on silencers, short-barreled rifles, and short-barreled machine guns in the Big Beautiful Bill, that there's no reason to collect fingerprints and registration information under a tax law when the tax has been reduced to zero. Logic prevails, that argument wins. So the district court, which is the first level trial court in the federal level, says, we agree, there should not be any registration of these items. The parties before the court are a specific silencer shop, some very specific gun groups, including their members. And so the ruling applies to some people in some places, but not everyone everywhere, because there are a lot of states like Michigan, where I sit, where there's a separate statute at the state level that refers to the federal statute. So you still have to use the Form 4, it's called, in a bunch of places in order to buy a silencer, which is, they've really taken off the last few years, very, very popular. The trial judge, gives a short stay of about a week before the ruling goes into effect to allow the government to do an emergency appeal. They let that time pass. However, they still have 60 days, the government still has 60 days, that's Department of Justice, to file a normal appeal. So that period hasn't run yet. That's the limbo in that headline you just read, is the fact that the government could still appeal this ruling within 60 days of the initial ruling, and there's about a month and a half left at this point. However, it's unlikely that the government's going to do that, given the tone and tenor of the Attorney General and the Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon, who has been very vocal and very active about her support of the Second Amendment rights. So we're probably not going to get an appeal of this ruling, but it doesn't really clean it up once and for all for everyone everywhere.
Just to be clear then, if there's no appeal, what is the practical takeaway?
The practical takeaway is we still end up with this split where in some states like Michigan, business as usual, if you go to the gun shop and buy a silencer or a short-barreled rifle, which is a barrel less than 16 inches, or a short-barreled shotgun, which is a barrel less than 18 inches, you still got to register, even though the tax is zero since the Big Beautiful Bill went into effect. That's the upshot, is that we've got to,
and if you don't register a suppressor, what if you buy it on the private market? Are you in violation of the law?
Yeah, that's still going to be a 10-year felony.
Oh, is that all?
So, yeah.
So if they don't have the serial number of my suppressor on whatever rifle I may have, they can target me.
Right. Could. However, I saw an encouraging interview just yesterday with the new AG talking about they're not going to be, that's not an active priority.
They're not.
For enforcement.
This
Right.
AG. What about the next one?
Well, you never know. And all Congress would have to do is raise the tax to $1, and then this ruling would be nullified anyway, because the logic was based on the $0 tax. So there's
I have
the
a
limbo.
headache. Yeah. So, do you have any? Do you have registered suppressors, or is that none of my business?
That's none of your business, but yeah, I do.
I thought you had told me that on the program previously. I would never out you like that, but
No,
I think you
no,
told me
yeah,
that. I don't own any, although I actually think it'd be an effective hunting tool, especially in more urbanized areas, for the very simple reason of, if the neighbor doesn't know that I'm taking big deer here, he won't know the big deer live here. Yeah, that's my, that's it. I'm a stealthy hunter. That's all I care about.
Well, it's a safety device. I mean, I and many veterans especially do suffer from partial hearing loss due to gunfire.
Me too.
Right?
What is my favorite rifle for hunting is a 257 Weatherby Magnum, but it's a little sharp on the trigger pull, and I don't want to wear hearing protection when I'm out hunting. But when I pull the trigger, it's sharp, and my ears have been damaged over time from rock concerts and shotgun blasts, too. What would it cost to outfit a rifle like that?
With a silencer?
Yeah, suppressor.
Well, they've been coming down in price. Many more manufacturers just in the past few years. The silencer itself is going to run in the hundreds, not thousands, probably. But if you've got to probably get your barrel turned, threaded, so that you can fit the silencer onto it.
Sure.
So you're going to spend as much on the silencer and the work as you probably did on the gun itself.
Yeah. Good luck finding a gunsmith in this day and age. I'll tell you that. I might have to call you on the side to find one. All the best ones I know are retired or dead. Doolin is the best-looking, most informed, most talented lawyer in the history of lawyers. That's why we bring him in here. I mean, my God, look at him. Look at him. All right, I'll be back.
Look at you.
God bless America. Have a great weekend.
You too, Gruber.
There you have it. All right. Back after this with phone calls. All right, let's keep the phones hot. The Patriot Mobile Common Sense Hotline, 877-310-9966. Susan is in Nevada today. Susan, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I can barely hear you. My question isn't probably as important as everyone else's, but I was wondering, months and months ago, President Trump stated that people with low incomes would get a check for $2,000. Is that still happening?
He floated that idea. I don't know. I assume that would help you out.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I said, I don't know if that idea is still out there. He floated that idea. Do you need a $2,000 check? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm saying that's what he said, but that was months and months ago.
Yeah. To be honest with you, Susan, I don't know. Thank you for the phone call. I don't know. That idea was floated. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know what the cost would be. And I don't know where the cutoff or threshold was for that. Let's get to Mike in Tennessee. Mike, good morning.
Hey, greetings, Steve. Good morning. Your call earlier regarding the communism takeover. I'm not a party person, so I could care less about both parties or both control, but we have full-blown communism. The planks of the Communist Manifesto start with the number one thing is abolishment of private property. You don't own private property or loyal title in this country anymore. They eliminated that around 1913. You're a tenant and you pay tax on it, and if you don't pay a tax, they take it from you. The income tax, the public school system, the state controlling all.
Hold on, I would disagree with you. I mean, Florida, for example, the latest state to get rid of property taxes. Other states are following suit. There will be no property tax on your primary home, so you do own it after you pay the mortgage. Do you not?
That's not true.
It's not true. Florida got rid of
a loyal title.
What's
you do
that?
not have a loyal title, sir.
Yeah.
Absolute title ownership is what we're supposed to get back to. That's not. They're floating that, but that's not what they're doing.
Florida got rid of the property tax. What do you mean that's not what they're doing? It's what they did. He lost me there.
We're out of time.
Brock says we're out of time. I need to talk to Mike Moore because that doesn't make any sense. Back after this. All right, we need skilled trades in this country. I mean, try to find somebody to get things done in this world. It's much more difficult than it ever was before. Carpenters, plumbers, electricians, welders, I don't care what you're looking for. In skilled trades, they are in short supply in many places. People going into the trades are going to do well for themselves. Ed Brady is the CEO of the Home Builders Institute. He joins me now. Ed, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Steve.
Nice to see you again. You've been sounding the alarm on this for a while. Mike Rowe, of course, been on the bullhorn for a while, citing the same problems. But now you're concerned that skilled tradespeople, potential entrants into skilled trades, are recruited by AI. What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm talking about the data centers and the large corporations, the Googles, the Metas, the BlackRocks, the Fords. Large corporations are starting to put money into the skilled trades. And so because of AI and the data centers, we're needing more electricians, plumbers, and HVAC techs than ever before. And the fear is we don't have them, number one. Number two is if we don't have them, they're going to migrate from residential to that commercial short term. I don't know what short term means, 2 to 5 years, depending on the moratoriums that states are putting on these data centers and what that looks like in the future. But the fact remains is we have 300,000+ empty jobs in the skilled trades, and whether they go into the data centers or the commercial, based on AI, which is the boom today, and residential is a little soft, cyclical business, it will come back, and we won't have enough people to build the inventory and the stock that we need in this country on the residential side.
So how do we fill this gap? I mean, I know that there are efforts underway to put people in trade schools. There are efforts to make sure that Pell Grants, for example, aren't just available to college kids, but to kids that want to swing hammers and, weld or whatever it is. But it's a gap that takes time to fill. I think this should come under the Defense Production Act, honestly, and say, look, we have a national emergency here when it comes to skilled trades. I think the president has that power. What do you think of that move?
Well, absolutely. I've been saying as you mentioned, I've been saying for years that we have a crisis on our hands in lack of skilled labor. And, that is it a national defense issue? Should it be applied there? Wherever it's applied, we have for years had a lack of funding and opportunities for the skilled trades. And so I think at HBI, we're filling that top of the funnel to filter down into actual jobs. And what I mean by that is we're introducing the trades. We're introducing an industry that has not been able to recruit for years because everybody had to go to 4-year college, had to get a degree, and that hasn't panned out. I mean, look at the computer science majors now that we're becoming coders, and AI is taking over many of those jobs. And what I've been saying, and it's true, is skilled trades are AI proof. They are not going away. In fact, we're going to need we need 2.3 million new entries into the skilled trades just in the next 3 years. So it is a crisis. So whatever vehicle the president and this administration picks, we need to repurpose money to put into opportunities for people to introduce themselves to the trades and then have advanced training so that they can become skilled labor.
Okay, so this is incredibly important that we get this done. And we've got to find ways to get look, the money is there. And if you can come out of a skilled trade school, a trade school of whatever kind, and I don't care what you're doing, if you come out and you're making $80,000 a year, but you have zero debt, or $100,000, some of the people, these electricians that Mike Rowe has met with, making over $200,000 a year at the age of 22, 23, and no debt. You can set yourself up for a pretty good life, can't you?
Incredible. And that too is a challenge, that if these people are coming into the skilled trades without the proper training, making $120,000 in their first year or two, without the productivity, that's inflationary. What I'm saying, Steve, is we need to train them, and we need to provide them not just a 5-week crash course. We need to provide the opportunity for them to train so that they can do a job in a week versus 2 weeks. And therefore, you can pay them more. And so the productivity issue here And the lack of training is critical to making sure that the lack of skilled labor is not hugely inflationary on the cost of the products that they're providing. And we're not paying attention to that. We just have not repurposed money. We have not modernized our education system enough to pull money from higher ed, and that's not a slight on professional higher education or even.
No, I understand.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, I think college. I read from the same hymnal that Charlie Kirk did. I think college is a scam. Look, I know kids that have just recently graduated college with $100,000 from fancy universities like the University of Michigan. Oh, they got their fancy degree and God only knows what. They're working at a cafe because that's the best they can find. I mean, it's insane.
Getting grades now in the first year at Michigan, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I agree.
Don't need grades. It doesn't matter. Just come on in. We didn't teach anything in high school. You're in a pre-calculus class in college. You can't do basic math. So nothing to worry about here. Ed, what does the Home Builders Institute do? What are you guys going to do to try to bridge this gap?
Well, we've been here for 57 years. We need to scale, and scale means resources. We train entry-level pre-apprenticeship opportunities in high schools, in community colleges, in transitioning military, opportunity youth, corrections. We train at the beginning. So we're filling the funnel to provide opportunities and education and information for the trades so that they can get into the career path, and they can get into a career path that will educate them and make them productive. And frankly, as a contractor for 30 years, in the Great Recession and the housing crisis, or the financial crisis, I would say, we lost contractors, we lost people in the trades, and we need to rebuild that. We don't have enough entrepreneurs in this industry today, plumbers and HVAC, and even builders. And so at HBI, we provide that opportunity to get into a career path that will provide what you said, those $120,000, $200,000 jobs in the future and careers.
Yeah. Well, I hope HBI can get it done, Ed, because we, along with others, obviously you're just one component in a bigger scheme to get things done. Really important. Ed, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, let me just, you mentioned the Pell Grants, and I think it's an opportunity, right? But they've made it so complex that accredited enterprises like ours, we're not accredited. We haven't gone through that education process system. We're a nonprofit. We train, we credential in an industry recognized credential, a DOL supported standard, but we're not accredited. So they made it too complicated. Our students cannot apply because of our program in the system.
So make it easier. Make it easier, make it streamlined, make it work. Ed, I got to leave it right there. I agree with you. The Home Builders Institute, you can go there and find out more. Ed Brady, always good conversation. We'll talk again soon.
Always great to see you, Steve. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning. When we come back, Ivy will be here on a Friday. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back on a Friday. Thankfully, a Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, I need a Friday.
Friday.
Let's see. Here's the file this appropriately over there. Ivy, welcome back to the big show.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I think that one of our listeners said this. I'm going to pull this up. I think there is a psych medicine shortage for the callers today.
Why is that? Who said what that made this comment? Come
We've
up?
had a lot of just oddball. China's good because really, their
China
central
and the
control
Chinese
has created
people
capitalism.
is not the problem. It is the Chinese Communist Party. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, there's billionaires in China, yeah, and if it's rigged just like everything else. Anyhow, so
Probably said by someone who's never been there. You can talk to some people who have fled the Chinese Communist Party and maybe have a conversation.
Then
with
there was
them.
the guy who said we need higher interest rates because he has bonds, and I don't understand economics.
Or you can go talk to the Uyghurs too. I'm sure that organ harvesting that is being done by the CCP is also a good plan, according to some people. Not at all.
What do you got for me? I mean, I got plenty. If you don't, I got all sorts of stuff I haven't even looked at yet today.
Well, I mentioned a couple days ago this coffee shop owner in Idaho.
Oh, yeah, the guy who tossed out the pro-life team after they
That's
had
right.
bought coffee,
Now-
bought sandwiches, done it right.
So since that time, allegedly, he is saying that him and his wife are receiving nonstop death threats. And I just don't, listen, that's not the right way to handle it either. Like, two wrongs don't make a right here, people. But I want you to hear what he has to say. Anthony, go ahead.
I said everybody is welcome, but I said I don't want this group meeting here.
Sir, we're just meeting for the first meeting.
I don't care. Go to the public library. This is my place of business.
But I thought this was like, we come here all the time. We just already bought our food and stuff.
That's fine.
But you're kicking us out of your... We're just
Did I
meeting here
make
for
it
the first
very clear that I did not want you here? Yeah, I did a lot of work to get people on the ballot so women would have the right to choose in the state of Idaho. And this is something I do not support, nor does my wife, and it's our business. So we have that choice.
So you're kicking us out. You're kicking out me and Bear, who's starting this group, and you're going to kick us out.
It's like if the KKK asked to meet here, I would say no.
So you think
If a
pro-lifers are like the KKK? Is that what you're saying?
In my world, it's the same. It's the same sort of concept.
That is so beyond
Yeah.
par. Pro-lifers, those who advocate for the dignity of every human life, even children in the womb.
I've
You were saying we are
I've
like
made
the
my
KKK.
point clear. I asked you guys not to meet here. I said everybody.
So, okay.
So, I mean, it is his right
It is his right.
to be an idiot.
Yes. And the Students for Life members were meeting there, and he didn't want them there. But this is where I find this comment to be just ridiculous, where he is comparing them to the KKK.
That is absurd.
That is absurd.
He should have refunded all of their money
Mm-hmm. That's right.
and thrown all the stuff away. And then they obviously are making it well known
Right.
of where he stands. And look, he has the right to do that.
He does.
And people have the right to never go to his shop again and buy 1 cent worth of anything.
That's right.
And that's
Although,
how
I do
come
find
back.
that if this is the opposite way, like the Christian baker who didn't want to make a cake for the LGBTQ wedding, boy, that was like,
And then they tried
were
to
the worst
force him.
people in the world. And they also received lots of death threats, and they had a big lawsuit.
And they won.
And they won. But
Yeah,
it
not-
is his right to do this.
More than once. Colorado keeps coming back and trying to do it anyway, and they keep losing. I think Colorado finally learned its lesson, but who knows,
Right. Well, I just think that it's another example of how those who claim to be the most tolerant in
Are
our
anything
nation
but.
are anything but tolerant.
Yeah, absolutely true.
What do you have? What's on your
Well, let's
agenda
see
over there?
here. Let me spin the wheel. You want me to spin?
Let's see. Yeah. Let's go.
Let's see here. Did you hear this story? I haven't even talked about this. This woman, American citizen, who converted to Islam 5 years ago, and then started building bombs because she became an ISIS follower and was going to blow up the state capitol in the state of New York and then come back and try to kill the president as well. She's been arrested. Bite 9, Anthony. If you haven't heard, here it is.
Again, Miss Bowie didn't just want to kill lawmakers. She wanted a complete disruption of our government. And after that, she planned to flee the country and one day come back to, quote, do more, such as New Year's Eve in Times Square, even stating she would come back to attack the White House and the president, but only after she bombed the state capitol.
Oh my gosh.
I'm here with our partners to say, not on our watch. Let this be a message to any individual out there considering similar criminal acts. This FBI will find you. Under this leadership team, alongside our brilliant partners, we're moving more decisively than ever to identify, locate, arrest criminals before they can carry out their alleged plots.
Yikes.
So radicalized people who hate America are being radicalized inside America.
Yeah.
And there it is. Anyhow, she'll be in prison for the rest of whenever, but how many more? That's the problem. How many more? FBI did a great job here.
You know, my heart goes out to those sorts of people because how do you get so lost in feeling that way that you want to do so much harm to
Maybe
others?
the electronic devil, maybe TikTok, maybe social media, whatever. I'm not blaming TikTok per se, but you
Right.
understand my point. You get all these garbage messages telling you
isn't
America's
it so
bad.
true that whatever it is that you are thinking, you know, we have these algorithms that continue to show us what we want to see. So if you're in the boat of a lot of radicalization, you're gonna keep seeing the same things that are verifying the way that you think.
Exactly.
And so you get stuck in this trap of
Hate.
false truth,
Anyhow,
right?
Yeah. Got to leave it right there.
Just go out and actually talk to people in the world. How about
Wouldn't that be something? Love you.
Love you.
We talk to each other. We have that.
I love that.
Back after this. right. I'm looking forward to the weekend. I miss Montana. I'm not going to lie to you. I wish I was still in Montana. I wish I was still in the adventure van. I wish I was going fishing today. No fishing this weekend. We got a lot of work to do, unrelated to anything else. But, maybe I needed a longer fishing trip. That's all I'm saying. Maybe it needed to be a bit longer. And look, we need to recharge it's a lot. It is a lot. It drains me after so much time at this. But we do it for you. We do it to defend this country. It's work, but it's work that needs to be done. And we understand that. But make no mistake, it does wear a fella out. I'll tell you that. It does wear a fella out. Anyhow, always greatly appreciate you being here. Always appreciate you being here and supporting us, as you have done for 15 years now on this program. We do have some new affiliates coming. A little delay, though, on the big one in the nation's capital. Arguments over broadcast towers and rent fees. Nothing to do with us or the program. And then maybe an outlet, maybe in Dallas. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, it's Anthony's big day. It's Anthony's big day. Anthony's getting a new big prize today because Anthony's going to have a little side hustle going on.
That's right.
The American dream lives, right? What? Hard work, right, Anthony?
That's right.
Yeah, Anthony's getting a big old dump trailer today to do homework, trash removal, construction, landscaping, renovation, just a side hustle because everybody needs a side hustle. I have one. Now he has one. Anyhow.
Right.
Fight the good fight. Keep the faith. God bless America. I'm Steve Gruber. This is Daybreak. Send me an email. SteveGruber.com. Tell me what's going on in your neck of the woods, what's happening, what I need to be aware of. And remember, only you can save America.